Hey everybody, welcome to Learning DIY on the Fly. My name's Earl, and we're going to go ahead and go over why I chose this toolbox and all my first beginner tools and why I recommend what I'm going to be using, at least maybe in the future, long time in the future, maybe for a couple months, and then I'm going to get mad and not want what people call garbage tools. But we're gonna go ahead and go over it and kind of see what I chose and why I chose it. First thing is I chose the 56-inch US General Series 3. I mentioned this in one of my previous videos. And one of the main reasons I got this is because I was looking at the smaller one, and it was a Series 2, no power drawer. It was really basic, it was on sale. It was like over $100 off. I was super excited, and I was looking at it, and my wife seen this one. And she said, well, this one has a power drawer, that one doesn't. And I said, yeah, you're right. And she's like, well, this one's bigger, that one's smaller. Would you use the bigger one? I said, yeah, probably. And she goes, well, wouldn't you want the power drawer? Yeah, it would be nice. Well, get the nicer one. And I was like, I don't want to spend the extra money. She goes, it's a couple bucks a month if you do the payment plan, so you just should get the nice one because you're going to regret it. So got the nicer one, had to wait a long time because I actually had to order it. They only had a display model. But now I have it. I got the US General Series 3 56-inch roller cab. And it seems really nice. The reason why I went with US General is because it was at a decent price point, a lot of positive reviews, and I could add more toolbox up here to the top that I can order. I can get a hutch for workspace and lighting and all that stuff. They make cabinets, like locker cabinets for the sides. So if I fill this and I go, man, I just need more space, I don't have to go out and buy the big part, the expensive part again. I can just add on. Now, after I add on all the stuff and then run out of space, then I'll have to buy another one. But then that'll be later down the road. Now, when it came to tool selection, I decided I didn't need super expensive right now. If I break something, I can go get a nicer one or a newer one or do whatever, do it that way. But I thought about that, and I was like, maybe I should get whatever I can get that has a warranty. So I started looking at warranties, and there are a lot of really bad warranties. There are people who had warranties that they say they have a warranty, but then they tell you no when you go to replace it. So I was like, okay, where can I go that when I get a warranty, I can just walk in, hand them a tool that's broken, and they can hand me one back, and then I can go home. And that's why I went to Harbor Freight. I have like 4 subscribers at this point. I do not have sponsors, people sending me tools. I literally would wish people would send me tools. I would love tools. But, so I literally went, okay, what's the most budget friendly with a good warranty that if I break it, I can go get it replaced and don't have to worry about nothing, because I don't want to be having downtime when I get a chance to work on stuff. So I went with Harbor Freight and got their Pittsburgh stuff. And I got all sorts of stuff. And this is one of the tools that I had to break out and use right off the bat. As soon as my roller cab came in, I used this to pull the boards off and use it for that. So that's what I got these for, and ended up having to use it. And Harbor Freight does have like a really good line of tools. Like, a lot of people don't like their cheapy stuff, but they also have a really nice brand called Icon. And they have like a nice case and stuff. I opened this, it came in a nice box. The reason why I'm showing you this right now is, remember in one of my other videos I said I lost a tool? Literally, the expensive brand from there lost that tool. I wasn't even using it. I needed this feller. Use this feller. When I opened the case, everything fell out because I was in a hurry. So I put everything back in the case. As soon as I got done working on what I was working on, put this one back in. But when I opened it, dropped everything all over the floor, and then I put everything back in and then realized that this guy was gone. And even though I just cleaned my garage, everything was missing. These were the two tools I wanted to highlight real quick. Just because I had to use them before I had my roller cab. And I already lost one, so just bad luck on me. Now, I'm going to go ahead and organize everything in my roller cab. And then we'll go drawer by drawer and kind of show you guys what I decided to buy and roughly how much I spent for what I think is a good beginner toolbox set. And, you know, I think it was a good buy. So we'll go ahead and get that done, and then I'll bring you guys in for that. Hey, everybody. So I got all my new tools in the toolbox. So we're going to go ahead and go drawer by drawer, and I'm going to kind of show you stuff. These were so nice. Like this actual stand so nice. So I left these in the stand, and I had too much fun doing this for way too long. So there's that. Screwdriver set that I bought is nice like this. So I'm not too worried about that going in a drawer. I'm probably going to put some of my electrical stuff until I get a cab, the top hutch for the cabinet and stuff like that. I'm probably going to stack some stuff up here. But I did get my impact holder, which I did buy these, but those were separate. So I'll do those in a different video. But I did buy them, but this came out of the Harbor Freight credit card all together. So I had that, and then I got the drink holder, and I got the tool roller with some hangers. Originally I got the hangers because I was going to hang one of the roller thingies. I can't remember what they're called, that I lay on, and I was going to hang one of those on here, but then with the cabinet being more expensive than I was planning, I didn't get that, and I just got this. I was going to get this and that at the same time, but this I figured if I'm laying underneath the truck or car or whatever, it's going to be nice to be able to slide this around. And I got some of the magnet tool holders, or magnet trays, so I got that. And that's all for the outside stuff. For now, when I get my old tools, I'll have like a wire caddy and all that stuff. In the top drawer, I did get a lot of the organizers, and I bought one pack of long, deep well and shallows of 1/2, 3/8, and 1/4, and I went with the pretty colorful ones for the quarters, just because I figure these will be easier to see. And I bought so many trays so I can buy impact and chromes in all the sizes. I started with impacts because I only had enough money to buy a type, and it's better to have impacts so you can impact and not worry about the chromes exploding. I've never had one explode. I have never really used a lot of impacts on them because I've always heard it's a bad idea. So I didn't end up getting the chromes just to save on money for now, but I did buy the trays, and I do have an issue with some of these trays. We'll go over that in just a second when we get to the side I have issues. But I got all my extensions. I got the 1/2 inch, 3/8, and 1/4, and I found the little guy. He was stuck to one of the magnet thingies, I think, in the box, and I found him. So I do have my full Tecton, or not Tecton. Tecton's another brand I like, but full Icon set of 1/4 inch extensions, so that's nice. I bought the Pittsburgh Pro ratchets. The ratchets, like yeah. A lot of the packaging that Harbor Freight had, I fought with because I'm an idiot and didn't realize that the packaging said screws in them. So I was literally breaking the sockets with my thumb, like literally take them and then breaking them off the packaging that they came in. So that was fun. Some of them were easy, they just popped off. Other ones were really hard. And then we have the SA metric, and I have my whole toolbox is split. SAE's on the left, metrics on the right. And I got stubby flex heads on top of that. And these things, oh my God, these things are so cheap. There's like a gap in the head of the ratchet, and there's a lot of play. But they're also not they don't look like they're the rebuildable kind. I mean, I didn't get these to like reef on them and do a bunch of stuff. It's for when like I get my hand up in a spot and I just need to twist. I've had to do that before. Usually I just end up having to take the ratchet off and then I gotta sit there and twist it with my fingers. But I got these. They weren't overly expensive, but they're definitely, these things are probably the second cheapest thing here in terms of quality wise for me. And I don't know a ton about tools, but now this is what I had an issue with. If you can tell, these ones don't sit level like the rest of them. And this one doesn't even have a peg anymore. I literally put it on, and there's, see that little hole right there? The peg is bigger than that hole. So I was trying to do one of these numbers and get it to work itself in, and I pushed down to try to wiggle it, snapped it off in the socket, and then when I pulled the square part that snapped off the very bottom, it left the peg in here. So then I had to go and pop the peg out, and yeah, it was just a pain for those. These ones, this one's tight, and this one's tight. The rest, I can just reach in and grab it and put it back. It's not that big of a deal. All the smalls, or the shallows were fine. And I figured maybe it was just a defect with this bin, and I tried this one that was in the other set, and it is also not good. So I don't know. I was gonna buy the better set of these from Harbor Freight, but I ended up going with the cheapies just because I was trying to cut money because of how much the roller cab was. And you know, now I got these cheapy ones, which, I mean, looks nice at quick glance, especially for me just being a DIY guy. This will be plenty of stuff, and I'm not really hard on stuff when it comes to like opening and closing. These sockets are going to be put to the test because I'm a big guy and I made sure I bought big breaker bars. But the one thing that is nice though, every single thing that you see in here, minus the trays, have a lifetime warranty. I bought them essentially as long as I own them. If I break them, I should be able to take them in and be like, I broke this, and they go, okay, and then they go to the shelf and they go, here's a new one, and then I go, okay, cool, and then I go home. So that's what's nice about these. The one thing that's really nice, and I noticed it is only on the Icon, is the knurling stuff, the finger grippies on these, which I don't know. I know a little bit of work I have done. It's been nice to just, you know, it's hard to grab the socket or the end or whatever, and it's nice to have that to do that. But that's my top drawer impact sockets. Hopefully I'll get the chromes at some point because they are thinner walls, and I believe they're hardened a little bit more. So that's why they kind of chatter when you use them on impacts. I've never seen one. I've seen it happen to other people in videos and stuff, but I've never had it happen. But the thinner wall does help get into tighter spaces sometimes. I know I've had lug nuts where the rim was so tight around the lug nut, it was like you weren't going to want to be able to use an impact. But let's go close that. Wrenches. I got regular wrenches in a pack. That and that were together in a pack. It was, I mean, it was pretty cheap. I bought ratcheting wrenches, and these are, they don't have the switch on them. You just flip it over, use it, flip it over, use it, and then it's all good. And then I got the stubby ones, so I have them. The reason why I got so many wrenches is I like the ratcheting ones, but you can break them if you reef on them too hard. The regular ones, sometimes you just can't get them turned, so having that ratcheting in is nice. But also when you have one hand on a wrench and another hand on the other side with a wrench, and you're trying to turn both sides, it's nice to have two wrenches. So that's why I got these ones and these ones. So now I can use that one for the bolt, that one for the nut, and tighten them down most of the way and call her a day. So it's nice to have both. And the stubby ones, I mean, just look at how big they look compared to my hand, or how little they look. Those are average size wrenches. No. All jokes aside, it's nice to have the smaller ones reach into tighter spaces. Man, this just sounds horrible. Anyway, but it's nice to have them reach into tighter spaces. Like I said, I haven't done a ton of work on cars. I've done little bits here and there, but I've literally been in spots where my dad has cut one of those in half and put tape around the end to make something like that. So, and he'll literally just tape both sides and then be like, now I have a boxed end shorty and an open end shorty. And then he'll throw them in a toolbox. And I got random tools like this that are just homemade. I just went out and bought them. They were pretty cheap. And all these, yet again, lifetime warranty. As long as I own them and I break them and I take them back, they should replace them. And I got these specialty ones just because. From what I understand is these will grip rounded bolts and stuff like that because of the way that they're shaped. I watched a bunch of reviews on a bunch of different styles of these, and they just happen to have them in the Pittsburgh Pro, so I bought them. And yet again, standard, metric, and my box is split down the middle, so literally if I reach in, I know that this is standard, that's metric. Let's go down another drawer. Pry bars, that's an old tool. That don't count. Get out of there. You don't count. Pry bars. I got two different kinds of pry bars. Yet again, cheap. Pittsburgh brand. If I snap them, I should get new ones. The pick set, super cheap. And I wish I would have waited because they had a set, and I think it was like $6. I mean, none of this was really that big on sale. I literally walked in and said, I want, and then I bought, and then I went home. This one was part of this set. These were part of a set. This was part of a set, and these two were part of a set. Now, these ones, I literally watched a YouTube video. The guy went to use them one time, I think, and then he tossed them on the floor and they broke into two pieces. He said, don't buy this set. And I said, I'm going to buy this set because I don't care. And that's just the way I am. Until it breaks on me and I have to be upset, I'm going to waste money because I don't like listening to other people. Empty. And then I got these kits. So the lug nut kit I got just so I can use it. Like, be like, I'm going to do lug nuts, grab lug nut kit, done. It should have everything I need. Now, the oxygen sensor diesel injection socket set, I'm going to be pulling injectors out of that Cummins. I know I am at some point, and I know O2 sensors tend to go fairly often. Every time I hear anybody complain about the car, they're like, oh, I have to replace an oxygen sensor. So I'm like, I'm just going to buy the kit and be done with it. Torque limiting extension bars. I seen a guy use these, putting on lug nuts, and he literally used lower than what he needed to torque them to, and used his impact all the way around. Well, you know, doing the star pattern thing. And then he went back through and torque tested all of them, and they were fairly accurate. He's like, they're accurate enough to get me close, because you don't want to just ugga-dugga the tire to the car. So he could just ugga-dugga the whole thing, and then they were close, and then he could go through with his torque wrench and torque them down proper. So I got these to try them out and see how they work. I've never used them, and they're all pretty colors and stuff, so I got those. So those are the kits I bought. And this one's empty. This one has the cord and the instructions and stuff like that. But overall, that's what I have set up for right now. But yeah, so that's my setup for now. I'm probably gonna adjust drawers and stuff like that. I'm gonna have to buy better organizers at some point, because those ones were pretty sad. I didn't expect them to not fit, and then when they didn't fit, for them to snap. I mean, I'm a big guy. Maybe I put a little bit too pressure on them. You know, I'm good at taking fault myself. You know, maybe for, you know, a little you know, old lady or something that, you know, likes to work on cars. Maybe she won't push on it hard enough to break it and stuff like that. But I mean, I'm a monster, and I accidentally break stuff all the time. That's part of the reason why I went with Harbor Freight in Pittsburgh and all that stuff, is I wanted that lifetime warranty. You know, if I put something on a breaker bar and it snaps, I want to be able to go replace it. I try to avoid breaker bars for that specific reason. Still, it's going to be a pain if I snap it to go get it replaced. Not so much a pain to get it replaced, but to actually have to take the time. It does take me about 45 minutes to get to my nearest Harbor Freight. But at least I know I can get it replaced when I get that far. But that's why I went with Harbor Freight the way I did. I'm a little bit upset about like how cheap them little flex head stubby ratchets are. But, you know, if they hold up, they hold up. If they break and I can get them replaced, then, you know, that's still a win. I didn't pay a lot for them. I found a tool when I was taking them out, and I was like, yep, I'll remember exactly what tool that was. And I forgot, and I started digging, and I started looking, and I couldn't figure out which one it was, but it had a sharp spot on it. And it did grab my finger, it didn't cut me, but it had a sharp spot, and it shouldn't have had a sharp spot on it. And it, you know, that did frustrate me a little bit. And I went, you know, I just bought these tools, and it's got a sharp spot, like I threw it on the floor or something, or banged it off of a frame rail or something like that, and it has a sharp spot. And I was frustrated, and I was like, well, you know, I'll point it out, I will remember, and I don't. So there's that. But overall, you're gonna get what you pay for, and I paid for a warranty that I don't have to worry about, you know. And that's what I paid. That's what I wanted. I wanted to make sure that I was, even though it wasn't a big investment on tools, because the tools themselves were a low price, that at least they were safe. And overall, the roller cab, all the accessories, including the tool tray roller, and I mean, everything there was just shy of $2,000. Now, I could have got the smaller cabinet. I probably could have got a five drawer cart, which is only a couple $100. I think they're like $265 or something like that. And I could have fit every tool in there, and it would have been fine. I would not have had to worry about it. But I knew I was going to grow. I knew I was going to want to do more stuff. I got, you know, engine stuff I want to do and all this crazy shit. So I was like, I want the bigger cabinet. But thanks for sticking around. This is what I think, you know, is a good starter setup for a big, you know, if you plan on having big plans you plan on pulling motors and doing all this crazy stuff, I think this is a good start. You could probably buy a few less wrenches. You could probably buy a few less sockets, but I didn't want to buy twice right off the bat, and I used the Harbor Freight credit card, so I got the 36-month equal payments, so I could pay for everything equal payments, and the payments are low enough I could make more than one payment a month. I can make a couple payments a month. So, but yeah, so I'll do reviews. If I find that other tool, I'll do a short maybe video on, you know, hey, this is what it was, blah blah blah. But please like, share, subscribe. I really hope this channel grows. I'm pretty excited. I've always wanted to do DIY. I always wanted to do the car stuff. You know, it was in my family, and you know, if it can get pretty big, you know, it'd be pretty exciting to do stuff, teach other people how, show people that even somebody with limited knowledge can do them. So thanks a lot. Thanks for joining me. Hopefully you like this video, and I'll see you on next time.